welcome to Trans Talks with Sarthak Gaba, and here we have with us a very esteemed guest. Her name is Shaine Soni, and she is an actress, a stylist, and she's the Indian president of IAWW. She's also the CEO of Miss Trans Queen. Hi, Shaine Soni. How are you?
Hello. Thank
How are
you.
you?
Thank you for such a wonderful interview. Introduction.
So you have had an amazing journey with Olmec, right?
Oh, absolutely. It has been quite long that I met Dr. Kaushik, but
Right.
then yes, the experience and the journey has been very exciting, and it has a lot of memories, and it has a lot of emotional these moments that has made me so close to Olmec.
Wow. So there are many questions that we have for you related to Olmec, not related to Olmec, related to your life. We have so many questions. We'll start off by
Kindly shoot.
Yeah, we'll start off by so at what age did you come to know that okay, there's something going on in your life, right? Which is not, I would say, which was not considered normal back then, right? So when was that time that you realized that okay, there's something different going on and I need to address it? When did that happen?
Okay, I would like to answer it with a twist.
Yeah, sure.
So usually people say that, they ask me that, when did you realize that you're a trans?
Right.
Well, first of all, I never realized that I was a trans.
Okay.
I always knew and I always felt like a woman.
Okay.
It was at a very, when you just hit puberty, and that's when you try and understand what has happened to you in terms of, there were girls around me, my friends,
Mhm.
who were growing their breast.
Right.
And I'm like, why am I not growing?
Okay.
And then it is not, I was very sure of what I was. Like,
Mhm.
I was very clear about the fact that I am a woman.
Right.
But it was people around me who hammered this idea or this thought in my head that, no, you're not a woman and you're a boy or you're a man and you're supposed to behave like that.
Right.
And you better be like that.
Okay.
Or, I was forced to be masculine, not,
Right.
but then, it was so funny at that point also. I felt, why are they telling me all that? Who are
Mhm.
they to tell me? And how would they know what I am and what I am not?
Right.
So that was it. So I would say that, I always looked up to my mother as my inspiration.
Mhm.
And as a kid also, I would always look up to her and I wanted to wear what she's wearing. I wanted to dress in the saris that she would wear to her office. And I would just relate myself to her. For me, she was the world and she has been my world.
Right.
So she was the biggest inspiration in my life at that tender age. And I always looked up to her. So I was very focused.
Mhm.
I knew that I have to be her
Right.
when I grow up.
Right.
And I am her.
That's lovely. So when you say that there wasn't a time when you felt that okay, you were a boy or whatever, you always felt that you were a woman, right? And you always wanted to go grow breast, and why wasn't that happening to you, right?
Yeah.
So when all of this was going on, when puberty was hitting you, everyone around you as well, so was there any mocking, was there any bullying from your friends or the people around you?
So as I said, that I was very sure of who I was.
Right.
It was people who were trying to tell me that I'm not that.
Right.
And that was quite contradictory.
Right.
Of what I was feeling.
Right.
So for me, I've always learned one fact, and I think it has just embedded in me somehow. I think God gift or something that my parents have told me at a certain age, which got embedded in me,
Mhm.
was that you should know what you want to hear.
Right.
You should be able to filter what you want to
Right.
hear and what you want to just let sink in your head.
Right.
So for me, what they were saying was just like barking.
Right.
They were barking, and I never had let any of those feelings affect me. To be very honest, there were mockings, there were a lot of name callings, there were a lot of harassments, there were a lot of mistreatments, but uh, I would say that I was a very strong-headed person.
Mhm.
For me, it was there. I cannot, I cannot lie about it that it was not there. But the fact is that I did not let that affect me.
Right. That's nice. So, if at all we jump a little forward in your life, so when you probably started your professional career as an actress or as a stylist. When you were working with your colleagues, when like everybody was working and all, so did you ever feel that okay, that this is what you want to do, or is there anything else that you want to do? And like what all categories did you focus upon, that okay, this is because when we hear about trans women, there are a lot of stigmas involved, right? People think that they like they should be related to a certain category of work profession,
Yeah.
right? So when all of this was going on, did you ever feel that there was a part of society that wanted you to stick to those particular professions?
I think the only category that I focused on was life.
Right.
I wanted to live. I
Okay.
wanted to just enjoy every moment of my life.
Right.
And I knew for a fact, coming from an educated background, I knew for a fact that education is very important.
Right.
And I knew also, uh, I knew it very clearly that it's education that is going to make everything and anything that I want, it can make it happen.
Right.
So for me, it was very important to be educated,
Mm-hmm.
to be, good enough or capable enough to earn my living.
Right.
And that's what I focused on. I really did not care about how people categorize trans women
Right.
into a certain profession.
Right.
I knew that it is the limit that we set for ourselves.
Right.
It is not just about trans women, also, it is about women.
Right.
In general,
Right.
women are set and they're forced, or they are categorized, and they're limited, and they're confined in certain zone where they feel that okay, they're only meant for certain roles.
Right.
But we forget, before being a man or a woman, we're human beings.
Right.
And human beings are limitless.
Right.
They're people with so much within them that you can achieve everything that you want in life. And
Right.
that is what something you have to decide for yourself. It is
Right.
not anyone else who decided for you.
Right.
So that is exactly what I decided for myself. In fact, if you actually see my career graph, I've jumped a lot of careers. I've
Mhm.
jumped. It was, and people usually related to me being a trans and I was not being comfortable. No, I've been very comfortable in everything that I've done, because I feel when you're at a professional front, it's not that you're a man or a woman.
Right.
It's you are a professional,
Right.
and you're supposed to deliver what you have been hired, or what you've been, what your job is.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's what my focus has been in life. If I'm an actress, I know what to give to my job.
Right.
If I am a stylist, I know how to act as a stylist, or how
Right.
to be a good stylist.
Right.
So I focused on my nature of work, not
Right.
my nature of my existence in terms of my gender. And also, I usually tell this to people, and
Mhm.
there's something that I heard at my very young age, where I was told that you'll be jack of all, master of none. And somehow I don't know, usually I'm not that rebel.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm not that rebel, but then uh, for some reason this quote just kind of annoyed me at that age, and I said, no, I have to change this. And I that's what became like one of my missions, a secret missions in my life, where I felt I want to be master of all and jack of none. And that's what I'm trying to prove.
Right. Very nice. For those who don't know Shani as a person, what would be that one thing other than your professional life which keeps you motivated for for the next day, right? For people it might be work, for people it might be their friends, their family, whatever. What is that one thing that keeps you motivated for the next day? Uh,
I think to keep yourself motivated for next day is that you have to fall in love with the sunrise.
okay.
You
Very
need
nice.
to love the beautiful sun falling on your face, and you need to own that feeling. I think that's very beautiful. And for that, I think whenever I go to bed, I
Mhm.
always thank God for whatever I've had so far in my life. You need to
Right.
hold that gratitude towards the universe. And then also in the same breath, you have to tell God that I'm not done yet.
Right.
I have to see sun. I have to see tomorrow's sun, and I have to live. And that fact, just that fact of falling in love with sunrise is like falling in love with your life. And that you need to keep alive in yourself to, keep going ahead in life, I feel.
Right. So Great. One more question that came up in my mind was that for like I've had a word with a lot of trans men and women, and there's always been that one person in their life who has always been as their backbone throughout the journey, throughout their life. So who was that particular one person, or maybe two or three people who were always there behind your back, who were always there when the society was mocking you or not mocking you, generally who was there?
See, honestly, I've had a lot of people who have actually stood by me all these years. I've had my best friends, I've had my parents, but I think more than anybody else, you need to take your own stand. Like, you need to stand for yourself. You need to
Right.
be your own backbone. And I think every trans woman or a trans man, or maybe anyone who's struggling in life, I think it is very important that and they will of course resonate with the fact that it is a lot of time that when you're just with yourself, there are moments which just ask you or force you to just surrender.
Right.
And that's when, if you show your stand for yourself, I think that keeps you going. I think more than anybody else, first and foremost, it's you and yourself.
Right.
And then of course, people who've always stood by you are the ones who are your backbone for sure, but they will also stand by you when you know your grounds.
Right. Very nice. So there's this very exciting thing which is coming up in your life.
Oh yes.
And everybody should know about it, because uh, not just trans people, but the people of India, the people of the world would be very proud of you, because you are the first trans woman in India to be representing in Miss Universe India,
Yes.
right? And if at all you succeed in winning that, you will be representing us at the global level.
Yes.
What would you like to say about it? Because well, it's something that would obviously be very exciting for you as well. It would be
Absolutely.
something very new and very uh, I know. What do you have to say about it?
Well, first of all, the whole idea, the whole thought of just being the first trans woman to be actually be there in Miss Universe India in
Right.
itself is a huge victory.
Absolutely.
And I must congratulate not just myself, but everyone,
Right.
who supported me, and all the trans men and women. It is just to tell them that the dreams are valid.
Right.
So for me, I think this has been a lifelong dream which was not met ever. So I'm a person who looks for closure.
Right.
And this is a closure that I needed in my life for a very long time. I remember as a kid when I watched Sushmita Sen and Ashwarya Rai winning their respective international pageants.
Right.
My dad introduced me to pageantry.
Okay.
And he told me that, okay, they're Miss Indias. And he was trying to explain me as a kid.
Right.
And the first thing that came out of my mouth after listening to what my dad said to me was that meko bhi Miss India banna hai.
Ah.
And there I got a tight slap from my mom that you should be Mr. India, not
Right.
Miss India.
Right.
And I'm like, why? And it was the closure. It is the closure to that statement that I said. I don't know, like it just came out of my mouth as a
Right.
kid. And that point when I think it wasn't valid, because as a little boy, every parent would not want,
Right.
every parent would want their boy to be a Mr.
Mr.
India,
India, right.
not Miss India.
Right.
But for me, that needed a closure, and this is what I thought would be the best closure. And I think, such a huge platform, and for such a huge platform to be inclusive, I think we are on a very, very good space, because I always believe that I've never been the person who's victimized myself for being who I am, because
Right.
I think it is very important that uh, to know that what you're doing is right.
Right.
And when you victimize yourself, the world will victimize you. And I'm not
Absolutely.
here to victimize myself. I'm here to just be the colorful person that I am and represent the rainbow family on a global platform.
Wow. Well, we would love to see you there, and I wish you all the best
Thank you so
for
much.
the pageant. And I wish that if ever the time comes that India is represented by a person like you, it would be lovely. And we wish you all the best for future. And thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. And I would just say, I would like to conclude it by saying that, it is such a wonderful thing that you guys are doing here. And for Dr. Kaushik, I think he's one of the most incredible people that forget him being doctor, but he's a very beautiful person, and that makes him even more special.
Right.
And what he's doing for the community is beyond beyond amazing, because I think to have such a grit and such sense of serving,
Right.
I think it is very rare that you find in humans. And I think that particular part and that particular his sense of serving makes him special. And I think this is what Olmec is all about. My personal experience here has been just like, I've this feels like home away from home.
Right.
So yeah, and I'm really grateful and thankful to you guys for doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And actually wanted to conclude by asking you how has your journey been with Olmec, and I think you answered it yourself.
Yeah, I owe it to her.
Yeah. Well, but just one last question. Would you recommend Olmec to the people watching, all the trans women and men watching?
Absolutely, because when it comes to your body,
Right.
and especially it is about your body, you have to be extremely sure of whom are you giving your body.
Right.
So for me, I went all the way to Thailand. I've had about 12, 13 consultations from best of the doctors. But there was a feeling inside which was like, okay, no, I can't give my body to them too.
Right.
Because there has to be this sense of trust,
Right.
and it comes from within.
Right.
It is not about how many patients he has had
Right.
or he's operated.
Right.
It is just that when you meet someone, you know that you can trust that person with your body.
Absolutely.
And I think that trust I found here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shaine. And
Pleasure.
it was lovely having you here. It has always been lovely having you at Olmec, and
Thank you.
we wish you all the best for Miss
Thank
Transpeen, Miss Universe India, and I wish you all the best for, if at all you succeed further, then
Yes.
Miss Universe would be ours.
Yes.
And we'll see Shaine Soni as Miss Universe.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Oh, that would be dream come true.
For all of us, actually.
Yes.
For all of us.
For a lot of people, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope that you had something to learn from this podcast. And if at all you have any more questions from Shaine Soni or anybody else, you can just drop in the comments. Thank you.